YouTube? Above Average Code here, finally coming back to you with some viewer VOD review, everybody's favorite series where we go through some viewer gameplay and tell the person how they can improve in the Halo Infinite ranked arena. Now guys, it has been so long since I have done any form of VOD review, either for you guys, for content, or for myself, so bear with me here, and if I leave out any really important tips, please put them down below in the comments, because today we are here to help out Willing Carrot 76 with some high gold gameplay here on Streets Oddball, which is traditionally my kryptonite, so I'm really excited to get back to some viewer VOD review for you guys on this map and mode. Without further ado, guys, let's dive right into it. So sliding right back to the beginning here, the first thing I want to point out is make your text a little bit bigger. I believe you can do small, medium, or large text. Go with the medium. It'll seem a lot bigger, but trust me, it will help so much seeing what you have for a weapon and ammo, seeing what's going on in the kill feed, and that's just one little nitpick I have right at the beginning here. So, going to criticize your opening strat here. Let's see what you like to do. So you choose to go up top subway here, and you're kind of just scanning, looking for any information. You're watching over camo here, which obviously, guys, as you know, camo does not come up right at the beginning like rockets did on Streets. It does take some time to come up, so it's not up right away. So, not necessarily is this bad yet, at least, but I don't like how you're kind of just, you're doing the tunnel vision effect here. You're very much just staring, waiting for something to happen, and nothing's really happening here. So with the changes to Streets, again, being that active camo not coming up right away, the most important thing you want to do is either A, fight for one of those power weapons, be it either the battle rifle up here top subway, you have the stalker rifle over in red room if you move towards B street or driveway, or you have the bulldog up here on the left side. One thing I've really started to enjoy doing is just going for the stalker rifle here right off the start if you do spawn subway side, because you can get there well before anyone else, and fighting for bulldog here is a little questionable because they on the other side definitely have the upper hand getting to it first. So I'm not necessarily saying this right here is bad, but if you do want to do kind of that like watching over mid type strat, you should definitely go and grab that battle rifle top subway, and you can kind of be a little bit more proactive in what you're watching because you have the full look over mid, you can see top A, you can see over to B rail, and you can even see down if they push through past that bulldog there on Pink Street. Just something to think about. Again, not necessarily bad here yet. I do like that you are living because at least you're not doing that amazing starting strat where you just run out and die right off the rip. It's me. I'm that guy that likes to usually die off the rip, but I'm trying to be better about it here. So, your teammate we just saw goes and actually decides to grab the ball. So right here, you're very much playing like a support role by staying back. You know, if you don't see anybody immediately that you can shoot, you need to kind of play off your teammates and try to watch over them because you can very much move top subway and, again, watch over your teammates wherever they go. So your teammate has the ball, and you're still choosing to look here. Like, any enemies here are not going to do anything. I think you kind of have in your mind that you have to watch this camo for the full 25 to 30 seconds before it's up. You really don't. You don't have to worry about it until about 10 seconds, and you're in a really good vantage point here. And you actually hear and see your teammate taking damage with this oddball, and then you choose to push out. He actually dies, and now you're out in the open, and you go down. So, if you're going to make this play, again, this is fine. Try to put yourself in a position to watch something better. Just something to keep in mind. Right when you see your teammate pick up this oddball, you have to know somebody went bulldog. Somebody goes bulldog on that side of the map 100 times out of 100 times. So right when this oddball is picked up, you even see him taking damage, probably from that ping that you put up here. I believe that's your ping. You need to move out and try to watch over this fella, because if he wants to grab that oddball, you need to help him out, because the other two teammates, I can't even see what they're doing. They're over on B Street. They were probably going to play for that stalker rifle. So I'd like to see you move out. You know, just you have to move. You have to be a little bit proactive here and be confident and go out and take this gunfight earlier. Instead, you wait. This enemy actually gets a free kill on Crazy Horse. I swear, names in these lobbies are made up. No disrespect to anybody, but these names are like crazy. And instead, you guys push out one by one. I'm not saying your teammate's in the right grabbing ball there, kind of being alone, but again, just from your point of view, that's kind of how I would have gone about it. But yeah, so now you guys are 2 dead with seemingly no kills on the map, and now Camo's coming up. So you spawn up here. Crazy Horse spawned up right outside PD, and you have Amazing here, top B rail. So I think this puts you in a pretty good position to maybe go top. You might not even have time to go top A. You got to slide out and get eyes on this Camo because, again, even if you do not get the power-up, you want to get some form of info on where the power-up is going or which way it's moving, right? So you definitely want to get eyes on that ASAP, which it looks like that's what you're trying to do. The only thing to think about here is do not go too far out in the open. You don't want to overexpose yourself. You get a couple shots in. There's actually an enemy to your right. I like how you're backing into cover and kind of trying to live up, moving towards your teammate. But you actually choose to hunt this player here. And now you're in another engagement here. Oh, and you have two bullets in the gun. So there's a few you went wrong in a few areas here. So first off, again, I'll go to where I like the play. I did like the play when you back down from this enemy on calf here, right? So when there's an enemy shooting me on calf, my thought process is the ball's in subway. I'm backing out, I'm living up, and I actually had a teammate pushing towards that ball in subway. If I can, I want to leave this fella on this side of the map. You don't always just want to run away from an enemy when you have the info, but in this situation, again, where you and your teammate spawned, if they want to wrap and push up Pink Street, you guys have a free pass right into this oddball, especially if you guys go into the middle map and cut off the oddball from running away towards Pink Street. That's how you cut off the rotation here. So again, based off this info, always watch your teammates. Amazing. B Street. Felix, is he alive? He is very much alive. He's on the oddball, and you have Crazy Horse here in the middle of the map. You have info on Camo down here by Pink Street, and now you have an enemy shooting you from Cafeteria. I'm leaving this guy here. I'm not taking this fight because you'll see what happens when you take this fight. Well, first, let me explain why you don't want to take this fight, right? You guys are pushed up onto oddball, right? So if your teammates that moved up towards the ball get the kills, or even if you leave this guy and fly in and get those kills on oddball, they cannot spawn on subway. You guys literally just flooded that area. It's more likely they're going to spawn out where you just spawned, A, PD, and that's how you kind of flip the map. And if you guys can get the oddball, you can hurry up and get the map control. Instead, when you go back and choose to chase this guy, not only are you now blocking this spawn side of the map, but you're putting your teammates in the disadvantage on the oddball. You're fighting a two-front war here. So you making this decision alone is just completely kind of screwing you guys and going to get the oddball. And now you very much lose this gunfight. So you have 15 bullets here. You put a couple into Camo. You're down to 12. You're down to 9 now, right? And I don't want to say to get into a habit of reloading too often, but when you have this time of like transitioning to the next gunfight, sometimes it's beneficial to reload because, again, especially if, like right here, when you back him down, you need to know, okay, I've shot at 3 people now and I have not reloaded. I literally have the X to reload thing on the screen. You have to think about reloading mid-gunfight. Instead, you're jumping around, you're wasting time, you're trying to find him. He slides out, you miss those 2 bullets, and you just go down. But again, this whole gunfight should have been avoided, but just you always want to kind of keep in the back of your mind that 15 count of bullets in your gun. Especially, again, the medium text. Make the text a little bit bigger so you may see that reload button on your screen. But again, see, and now you're in a position where this guy is still alive Pink, but Calf, but you're still spawning out here because even though your teammates are on the ball, you guys didn't really flood in and get all of those kills, so you didn't fully flip the map yet. So you guys are very much in a very weird area spawning here, so... And again, you're very much in. No, I don't become infatuated with this fella because again, the sooner you leave this guy here, right? So you guys both want to fight here. So if you would have made the decision just to run B Street and go towards the ball, this guy clearly wants to fight you here. You're gonna trap him spawning, his teammate spawning here. And again, your teammates just got a kill here on Blunt Man. So he's likely going to spawn out, and you're going to secure the spawns for your team on Subway. Now, I like this. You're moving. See, now you're kind of getting the idea to move towards the ball, but you're also giving the enemy time to either flank you or move on the ball. Because, again, the idea with this kind of spawn picture that I just painted for you, you kind of have to act on it quick. If that's how you want to play the map, you have to get there fast, because if you kind of stand here, you either A, give the enemy time to wrap towards the ball carrier to help them, B, you're not really in there helping your teammates fight. You're kind of just hanging out here, B steps, and C, if the enemy does, again, that blunt man that just died, if he spawns out, he could get that PD spawn, come up behind you, and literally just like backsmack you and get a free kill. Like, you always have to think about your positioning. And see, you're actually turning around because you're anticipating that PD spawn, but you really don't want to be here fighting the spawners unless you have control. You have to focus that oddball. Because, again, all three of you are in Subway here, and they're still getting oddball time. This is actually kind of insane. So let's see how this sequence breaks down. We're finally in the mix. So, again, move. The moral of the story there is move confidently and move towards where you can be a help to your team. Because, again, you really didn't shoot anything. You didn't really see anything on that side of the map. All you did was kind of screw around with the spawners a little bit, and you ended up losing some gunfights. That's not really what we like to see here in any ranked gameplay. When in doubt, go towards the action. Go towards your teammates. So, we're here. We get a one for one trade here. You fly back. And, again, same issue with the gun here. You're out of ammo, but you do a good job backing them down. You have some help here, but it looks like he's going to back out of that gunfight. You reach out a little bit. I like how you're kind of playing the advantage here, or playing the lack of the advantage here. You're not really overchowing. That was maybe a little bit of an overchow. I don't know where your teammate went. I really wish your teammate would have stayed here and fought this out with you. But again, I will say I like this. And you did complain about windmilling in your little write-up with this VOD review. I'm not really seeing too much. I don't have too many complaints on your aim. Maybe a little bit too much right stick there. And again, he kind of just chose to overchow you here, and it worked out. Right here, when you chow out and you see this fella pick up the ball, he actually picks this back up. So while you're jiggle peeking this, honestly, I might just push out and chow the other fella, because you really didn't take too much damage. Instead, he chooses to be aggressive, and he actually gets rewarded for it. So again, don't be afraid to be the confident one here. Again, even though your teammate leaves you, you got to really pay attention to what's going on. So I like this chow out. You kind of get the info, you throw a shoulder, and you make the good play to back up. So now when you see this guy pick up the ball, I'm chowing this dude. And he actually chows out like simultaneously when this guy picks up the ball. So it's kind of funny how both your teammates kind of left you to take the 1v1. Just kind of an unfortunate outcome there. And you guys are really struggling to get this ball, and they are just soaking up the ball time. So that's something to keep in mind. So camo's up. You see it. You see your teammate gets it. They get the kill. This is all good and fine. 1-for-1 trade, so it's 3-3 on the map right now. And I like this. Go right towards that ball. So I like that you're being aware and you're trying to see where the enemies are, but all I'll say here is this is not the area to do it. You're stopping as in the open as you can be in this area to kind of check around. I would honestly, right here, if I'm you, once we secure that camo, I'm flying at this oddball. I'm going in to help, what's his name, Felix here. I'm going in to help Felix secure this control as quickly as possible. Even though Amazing just died, there could be damage here from Amazing losing this gunfight, because Bluntman was actually the one that killed him, and Felix just got to kill himself. So right here, I don't really care what's going on B-Rail, because if you move confidently up these steps, it doesn't really matter how much damage you can get in, because, again, you have the help from Felix here. So I'd like to see you get in there as quickly as possible. And more importantly, you have camo here. And you can see Crazy Horse is actually making the decision that I just said to make. And he actually chooses to back down. And Felix actually ends up going down. But you can see there's literally damage. Crazy Horse is pushing this damage. You're there to clean up some damage. You unfortunately get traded, but you can see how much damage was already there, but it didn't work out in your favor because you were kind of taking the time, bottom C steps there, kind of look around. You have to see when there's kind of like that 50-50 gunfight going on where you can push in confidently. That so far, that is the motto that you need to learn here is push confidently. Your aim really doesn't look that bad. Don't be afraid to hop on that sprint button and get to the action. You proved that you know how to back out of gunfights to kind of throw some shoulders and also keep your reticle over the enemy. Just put it together and be confident with it. So, the reason I'm sitting here paused is right off spawn here, Bulldog. You're looking right at it. You're looking right at it. You move away from it. You got to grab that weapon. But see, good job. You got some great damage in there. Now you're moving back. Okay, you get the Bulldog second time through. This is fine. I'm happy with this. This is good. You did a good job cutting off that ball. It's unfortunate Crazy Horse pushed in solo there. He's actually down, so now it's 3-3 on the map anyways. You fly out. You get another kill there. I like the move here with the Bulldog, getting a different angle. Using that Bulldog a lot, though. I would probably, yeah, I'd like to have my Bandit out there. Reload it. There we go. Okay, he's reloading it. See, I like this. This is fine because you kind of want to get some control. The only thing is your teammates are out here dying. Like they're moving a little too confidently. You're like the polar opposite of your teammates in this lobby right now, which is kind of funny to say. And you're making them play B steps, which I like here. You're definitely going to catch these guys off guard. 2 kills there. Oh, you got to hurry up and grab that oddball. You got to grab that oddball faster. If you pick up that oddball immediately, you probably get away their ATMs. So, again, I like this play. You're being aware of your driveway side, which is fine here. But you get one of the kills. Your teammate cleans up the other one. Right when I see this third one die, which he does, I am picking up this oddball, and I am rolling it towards ATMs, and I'm going to try to jump up Bulldog, rat it around, bring it to A, and hope that while I'm doing that, my teammates are moving around me and kind of setting up that ideal oddball hold. Maybe you just weren't ready to pick up the oddball. I don't know. Maybe you just aren't comfortable with your button layout or something like that, but you have to pick this up ASAP. Pick it up ASAP and get moving. Instead, that first guy that died, he spawns up. He gets a free look on you from bottom subway. And now they're all going to spawn up. They're pushing out. And we'll see how this goes now. But you could see how, like, that one little hesitation kept you guys from getting the oddball set up. And frankly, being down 23-74, you really needed that oddball set up. And again, I like that you're looking at your teammates. You are being methodical about which way you're going. And this is something a lot of people lack down in gold and even platinum lobbies. You're looking at your teammates. You're seeing if there's an enemy on the opposite side coming towards you, and then you kind of make your move towards the oddball. I like that a lot. Everything's just really staggered here. You know, your teammates are dying 1-2. You guys are spawning up, moving in, dying 1-2. The next 2 are spawning up. It's just you really want to try to get 4 up as quickly as possible. Here, you throw a nade at the ball. So right here, you guys are the ones that threw the ball out. I don't really think that they're in a position to grab it. So it's unlikely that they're going to be running towards this, and you just threw one of your grenades. So you definitely want to pocket this and save it. Instead, you throw it at the oddball, and Felix is actually going towards the oddball. But I'm sure that was one of those plays where you instantly regretted it. But you jump out, you get some good shots here. Very happy with that kill. However, you don't have the advantage. I don't know if I want to go and pick that oddball up right away, and you drop it and end up having to take a gunfight. And this is what I mean with making your kill feed bigger. Like, just, that's what I mean. You always want to keep track of how many are up and how many are dead, right? So if Felix killed 1 here, it's safe to assume that there could still be 3 enemies over here, you know? So you guys go 2 down, and then you get 1 kill. So there's still 2 enemies that aren't accounted for. So I'm not exactly feeling comfortable after going 3 dead or 2 dead and going and grabbing that oddball, even if it does work out for you here. Just kind of, as you climb through the ranks, it's really not going to work out. You guys also lost camo because you guys were down here. You guys might have not even noticed here. Another reason to not pick up the oddball is camos coming up. And you can't really see it on your screen, but, I mean, you can see it, and you know the announcer says camo coming up. But there is a lot to take in when things get scrappy, especially in these lobbies. Again, your teammates are running out, dying, and it's, like, kind of crazy. But just something you always have to keep in mind. And you see it go 0, and I think you kind of just, like, you know you need ball time, so you're like, whatever, leave the camo. And the only reason I hate holding ball here is I can't really, when you hold ball here, you can't really react to anything that's going on. You know what I mean? You very much just have to chill out. And this is exactly what happens. And you actually did not reload your gun before you pick up the ball, and they kind of just flood in. But your teammates are here to kind of get some ball time here, which is pretty cool. So, and again, these lobbies are very, like, unorganized, so it is hard to, like, paint the perfect setup and stuff. That's why I'm very much focusing on what you can do as an individual, because in these lobbies, even Platinum lobbies, you very much can't account for your teammates unless you're playing, like, stacked up or you're calming really heavily. And now here, I'm not completely sure why you're picking to go this way, but it's fine, I guess. I mean, all your teammates die anyway, so I'd like to see you just try to live up. And you can see what I mean. Felix is just flying in solo. He doesn't care what you're doing. He's like, I am going to that oddball from Vanilla Carton 78. And it's getting scrappy here. It might work out for you. Bit of a lucky drag there. And it does work out. So it does work out good. Good job shooting your gun. Good job putting in damage. The only thing I want to point out is how you take these gunfights, right? So this is fine. You got a full reload going into battle. You literally just jump right out in the open. Like, you can just hold that top A, kind of let things play out. Okay, Jenny jumps out here. Okay, kill them. Now maybe I'll go back A and get that angle into PD. Okay, put some shots into PD. Because you can very much get that damage onto the enemy before you move in. But just flying out like this, it's very easy to take unnecessary damage. Like this shot from the stalker rifle. If you would have taken that route, like I just said, back A, that damage never would have happened. But again, it does work out, but I'm focusing very much on your point of view here. So just think about how you're taking these gunfights, right? So when you're moving into a situation, there's only one dead. You do not want to be jumping out in the open like that when there is only one dead on the enemy team. You always want to keep that in the back of your mind. But your teammates did a good job collapsing. This is ideally what you want to see when you're attacking the oddball. This is what we didn't see earlier in Subway when you chose to kind of look for those spawners. This is what it looks like when the entire team rushes the ball. So it's safe to assume that they're going to be getting a further spawn. Your teammate is pushed up here, B, so I'd say they're probably spawning Subway, maybe Pink Street if they're lucky, Calf if they're like super lucky. But you guys are down 44-95. You need to spread and get this oddball set up here. And the only thing I'd like to see you do is move out towards A. You know, because now you're kind of bottlenecked here. There's only so much you can do. And see, that's what happens when you fly out in the open and the enemy team is ready to shoot you. What Bluntman did there is what almost happens to you if the enemy team was ready. See how this guy just gets absolutely demolished here? But as I was talking about here, so when your teammate picks up the oddball, you want to spread out. You don't want the oddball on the end of a setup, right? Felix is on B and not shooting anything. So in my mind, I don't know for sure that the push is going to come from cafeteria yet, but I'm going to move that way so that if it does, I'm there to meet them. You don't want to just give the enemy free steps up towards your ball carrier. So you want to get there and meet them as quickly as possible. And that's when you start kind of jiggle peeking like top A or A pillars and things like that. But you kind of hesitate and you choose to come out this way. And you can actually see that the push is, in fact, coming towards A. If you would have gone this back tour from PD towards A, they're looking at Felix. They're not looking at you. You come out, you kill this guy, easy, and now you get that A control. And this is kind of how you slow down that push onto your oddball. Instead, you guys kind of are just standing here. You move the wrong way, and they get a free walk all the way up to the oddball. And this is what I mean when you guys are like bottlenecked here, because now you can't get out of PD unless you run out and you risk just dying to the enemy team. But again, you're lucky here. This guy just flies out easy, 1 kill. Jenny just flying in, but Anarchy's pushing back A. So there you go. This is exactly, if you would have gone this way right when you guys pick up the ball, you would have been in a great position. You could have even sat on the boxes here in the corner and they would just walked right past you, especially in gold lobbies. Once you develop that thought process, it's very easy to just be smarter than people in these lobbies, even in platinum lobbies. That's why I'm kind of trying to paint this picture here for you, and what you should be doing and how you should be thinking when you spawn up and when you get that oddball and thinking about spawns and things like that. And it is a lot to take in. I do encourage you to kind of think about this like one at a time. Think about, okay, Today I'm going to focus on my starting strat, like Cody said, and try to eat up the map. And, tomorrow I'm going to try to move more confidently. And then once I feel a little bit better with that, I'm going to think about spawns and things like that. It's very much you have to focus on one thing at a time. And I know I'm bouncing around a lot here, but as long as you kind of are able to take it all in and think about it all, and just work on it one thing at a time, I promise you, your gameplay will go a long way. And of course, you do end up losing this round, so it is what it is. 0-1. We'll get into a little bit of the second round here, and then we're gonna cut it because I'm already 25 minutes in. But man, oh man, there's always so much good stuff to go over. I love doing these VOD reviews. So let's see how you start on this side of the map. And again, you go top A and you grab that battle rifle. This is what I would have liked to see you do on the subway side of the map. If this is what you like to do, just find kind of the best way to do it here. So you get a little bit of damage there in bottom subway. I love to see that. Oddball's trying to move this way. You give some help on Calf here. Great kill. Great double kill. I'm loving it so far. You go with the reload. And again, you guys have the advantage over here. Yes, I'd like to see you get eyes on this camo. Oh, no. Oh, no. No way you 360 this kid, right? No way you 360 this kid, right? Ah, good fight there, but, like, you just have to be more ready for them to move up that way because, again, you guys did not get them 4 dead, so you know there's enemies lurking. And, again, using that kill feed here, although you get 2 kills, I believe those are the only kills you guys get here. So there's still 2 unaccounted for, and you actually watched him back down. So you have to assume that he's going to be lurking either ATM area or moving up Pink Street. And now you have 2 actually lurking ATM area, and you get eyes on the spawner, so it's safe to assume there's going to be one up here. So when you run this way and just start reloading, you just have to keep it in the back of your mind better where the enemies end up going. So, like, again, I'm banking in my memory in that sequence I just did. I'm like, okay, there's 1 ATM. And then when the other one runs away, I'm like, okay, there could be 2 over by ATMs. So I'm going to keep that in mind with how I choose to move around the map from that moment on. And again, Bulldog's up and nobody is picking it up. This fella just now gets it. So your teammate's holding the oddball and you guys are 3 dead. This fella needs to play the oddball. You're more than likely, if they do what I told you to do in the first round, they are pushing this oddball right now, which will likely spawn you out subway, maybe red room if you're lucky. And you actually get the PD spawn. So this is what I was talking about when you choose to kind of slow push the advantage and not move confidently. These enemies did not move up onto that oddball. Whoever just kills this fella here should have been flying at the oddball, and actually ATMs did. I don't know where the rest of these enemies are. They must be completely slow pushing. So this is what happens when you do not push the oddball. They did not move up fast enough, and they did not spawn you out. They stayed in the middle of the map and kind of lingering back, probably off spawn, and it led to you spawning on oddball. So this is absolutely massive. You put a good place grenade. And again, you're kind of fighting this guy out in the open, but you do have him at the disadvantage. Just always stay near your cover, right? You're very much just, and you're even getting shot in the back because you're kind of walking out in the open. And there you go. You get killed pretty easily here. I'd like to see you just kind of stay near cover or something. You don't have to just walk out in the open and like bot strafe to get that kill. You really do not. Just think about different ways that you can get that kill. And now you guys spawn out subway, but the ball is played out till the middle of the map, so I kind of like this. Here, your teammates are kind of poking out, thinking about grabbing that oddball. You really just need to play for kills here. Right when the ball's played out towards the middle of the map, it's a 50-50 playing field. It's 0-0. I don't care. Get kills, get weapons, get map control, and reset, and then you can think about how you're going to attack that oddball. You want to get the advantage here. You guys are actually in the disadvantage because you guys are 2 dead, right? So it's 3-2 them right now on the map. You actually catch an enemy just walking out around front PD, but he kills you. So you're last up right now. You have 1 spawner coming up. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. They got the kills. They got the map control. They're going to try to get this oddball. He's not taking a great route with it, but he might get away with it here. I like that you're going to try to cut him off because he really doesn't have any help yet. And see, right here, you're kind of just sprinting up with no real knowledge of what's going on over here, right? You sprint up, there could be one PD or in tires waiting to backsmack you. There could be one hiding on arcade wall here that's going to kill you, or they're just going to jump up planter and chow you here, right? So when you come up here, first off, grab that repulsor. Gobble up that equipment. It does not take much extra time at all to take a wide loop here and grab this repulsor, right? More importantly, when you come up here, I believe that was the carrier of the oddball. You see nobody, right? But you're also the first to get to this oddball. I'd love to see you go back B or something and just hold this position. You know, even if you rat around, you kind of watch the angle across here into tires and wait for somebody to cross over and just wait for your teammates to get over here and help you. But when you come up and you just run through here, even though the teammates are coming up, you are the first person these enemies see. And it's safe to assume you're probably going to go down here. You do a good job getting damage on that fella, but again, one just pokes out tires and kills you here. So I'd like to see you just go back B, because while this whole sequence is going on, you could literally be back B right now, just peppering shots in, getting damage, right? Your teammates are shooting their guns. This goes completely different. Instead, you're actually the first teammate to die here, right? So all you do is give them an even advantage. You always want to hold an area of the map where you can help your teammates, you have an escape, you have cover, and everything of the sort. And again, Felix does the same thing here in your death cam. He literally just goes up, same thing, just dies right there on planter. It's just really unnecessary deaths here. And one other thing I'm going to leave you with is cycle through your death cams. I don't think I've seen you cycle through your death cams once. Although it can sometimes be helpful to see what's happening over your corpse, it very much helps to switch around through teammates to see what they're looking at. And more importantly, you can see what they're getting in for damage. So when you spawn up, you can go, okay, Felix damage 2, I can fly in and maybe get some kills here or anything of the sort. And again, I'm not going to go through all of this gameplay because this video is long enough, but man, oh man, it's good to be back on some viewer VOD review. There's so much good stuff to go through here. But Willing Carrot, the most important thing I think I'm going to give to you is to move confidently. That's probably the first thing I want you to think about. Think about the sprinting, the sliding, chow those enemies. But you, more importantly, have to think about where you're moving confidently to. Am I blocking the spawns? Am I flying towards the oddball to try to pick up some damage? Am I moving forwards to leave the spawners behind me so that I can kind of spawn my team in a more favorable position? These are all things that you have to be thinking about. Although you mentioned your aim and your windmilling, for these lobbies, I really don't think it's that bad. Obviously, keep practicing your aim, focus on the left stick aim, everything that you've probably seen from my videos, but I don't think that's what's holding you back. It's very much where you're moving and how fast you're getting there, and once you start thinking about those things, like I said, even the example on back A by PD when I said to sit in a corner, people in these lobbies are going to run right past you. They're not very aware. So the sooner you can bump up your awareness of spawns and things like that and move confidently towards that goal, you're going to make kids in these lobbies look absolutely silly. But Willing Carrot, I hope you found this helpful. Like I said, I'm very happy to be back on some viewer VOD review. Anybody else with some tips or anything big that I may have missed, throw it down below in the comments. But already, guys, I worked a 9-hour shift and then zoomed right home to record this. Hopefully it made some sense and you guys all found it helpful and entertaining or whatever you come to these videos for. But I hope it was fun, guys. Please hit that subscribe button if you're new here. We do viewer VOD reviews. We stream Halo a ton and just a lot of fun stuff here on the channel. Great community, guys. So feel free to hit that sub button. Leave a like on the video. Comment anything else helpful for Willing Carrot here in these high gold lobbies. And then finally, guys, channel memberships and super thanks. Shout out to all the members here on the channel. You guys are absolutely amazing. It helps out ever so much. But please, everybody, do not feel like you have to. The support's been crazy. I love y'all. I'm super glad to get back to a viewer VOD review. And again, I just hope you guys found it helpful. If you did, let me know down below in the comments. But alrighty, guys, I'm going to bed. Thank you so much for watching. Stay happy, stay healthy, and stay tuned for the next one, guys.